Hey guys, welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest channel and podcast. If you are on the podcast platforms, please do hit that subscribe button. And if you are on YouTube, please subscribe as well as hitting the like button while you're at it. It's like walking into the room, hitting that light switch. We just want to go ahead and brighten up the place. And let's get into this conversation. All right, I wanted to talk about this story, which honestly is just life. And people do what they choose to do, but it doesn't stop people from having questions about what people choose to do. You know what I'm saying? And I saw this story on one of my favorite YouTubers' channels. She goes by Color Me Pink, Pynk. So if you are on YouTube and you're not subscribed to her channel yet, please do go ahead and subscribe to her channel also. But I saw this story on her channel early this morning, and it just made me start to think about some things, and I decided that I was going to talk about it. Well, Love and Marriage Huntsville. For those of you who watch the show, honestly, it's not the greatest show, but for whatever reason, it does have a cult following, and it does have its moments where it really does trigger. I am not one of those people that calls themselves a melometer, and melometers, I guess, are people who are diehard fans of melodyshari, formerly Melody Holt, who used to be married to Martell Holt. And if you watch the show, then you know what Martell Holt is about, or I won't even say what he was about. You know what he's about, okay? Because I haven't really seen much change about him. I have seen where he has tried to give off a different perception of himself to the public to try to make people think he has some redeeming qualities or that he deserves redemption. But I don't believe people deserve redemption without repentance. I do believe everybody is worthy of forgiveness, but even in the Bible, even God says you have to ask for forgiveness. You have to repent before you are forgiven. God doesn't even just give out blanket forgiveness. So it really baffles me when people feel like someone just deserves forgiveness or the second chance, so to speak, when people don't really show that they have done much to change. And Martell Holt, he is not a good person. I'm sorry. And again, I'm not a melometer. I am very happy for her success. I'm happy that she made the decision to get up and out of that marriage and move on with her life in spite of having 4 children and in spite of people saying that, well, you've got 4 kids, you might as well stay with that man. Better having a piece of a man than no man at all. And that sort of horrific talk that some people speak about being in a relationship with someone that is toxic and that is not good for you, okay? So I'm happy that she got out of it. So I applaud her success. I applaud her decisions. And I'm happy that she seems to be happy and that she's moving on from that situation. But I did a previous conversation because there were some things in social media about Stormi, who is on the show now. She's been on the show for this past season as a friend. And the previous season, she was on there a couple of times. I believe Melody filmed the video for her song at Stormi's estate. And you know, that was cool of her. And she called her a friend on that last season. Melody said, you know, my friend Stormi. But I talked about this and I said that rarely are these people who are on these reality shows really friends like that. Sometimes you may have some real situations of friendships, but most of the time, these people are merely coworkers. They're not really friends. So I said when people were making comments about some comments that Stormi made on social media, Stormi's mother, I should say, made on social media about Melody, that people were uncovering and unearthing. And then also some posts that Stormi did on social media, people were calling into question whether Stormi was really her friend. And some people were even calling for boycotts of Stormi's products. And I think that's a bit extreme because people are going to buy what they're going to buy. They're going to do what they want to do. And I would never be here to try to stop someone's business, especially myself being someone who is a business owner. So I never feel like people should operate in that way. But I did say that I didn't believe that they were really friends. Okay. So here's where I'm going to take this. It was shown that Stormi was hanging out with Martell and Sheree for New Year's Eve, bringing in New Year's Eve. And I'm assuming it was at Sheree's Chateau Sheree, right? Because I don't believe Martell has a place of his own. And that's the thing that baffles me too. I may do another conversation talking about this because the decisions that Sheree makes, it's just baffling to me, but whatever. It's kind of sad, to be honest with you, especially being the age that she is. Why would she want to link up with somebody like Martell? It's weird to me, but this conversation is not about that. When I saw the video and the selfie with Stormi and Sheree, and Stormi hanging out with Martell and Sheree, even if Stormi was not really friends with Melody, why would she be hanging out with Melody's ex-husband and his new girlfriend? And I'm not saying that Stormi owes what we would see as some sense of loyalty to Melody. So it's like, well, because you are the person that I call a friend, you cannot be friendly with Martell. I'm not saying that Melody should say that, but I'm saying that as just like the Bible even says, don't let your good be evil spoken of. And people may say, I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what it looks like. I'm going to do what I want to do. But I do believe that it's really weird coming off of the show. And there were some questions about whether Stormi had recorded a conversation that she had with Melody when she was asking Melody some questions about Martell's new relationship with Sheree. And then in that same episode, Destiny played a clip of Melody speaking about Martell and his new relationship, which Melody didn't say anything disparaging. So even with that being said, there really was nothing to see there. But it was messy for Destiny to do that. And the fact that Martell got upset about it, he didn't have any reason to get upset because Melody didn't say anything wrong. She actually said the truth, because in that interview, if it was an interview or whatever it was, the recording, the clip of what she said that it's not like I haven't seen him with other women before when we were married. So why would people think that I would have an issue with it when we're not married anymore, when especially I was the one that decided to get out of it? So there really was nothing to see there. There really was no reason for Martell to get upset. But coming off of the heels of that and people questioning whether Stormi had recorded the conversation, somehow text messaged it or whatever to Destiny, and then Destiny played it to Martell, why would you be hanging out with Sheree and Martell? I'm just saying, it just doesn't look good. I'm not here to say who Stormi can be friendly with, who she can speak to, who she shouldn't be, or whatever. But I'm just saying it really just doesn't look good. And no explanation, if she decided to try to give one, would really make sense, because it just doesn't look good. I probably would have respectfully declined the invitation if it was given to me to come and hang out. But, you know, with that being said, she didn't decline it, and it just makes her look a certain type of way. I'm not saying that she is anything, because I don't know this woman. I don't know any of these people. But it just doesn't look good. The optics really look terrible when you couple all of those things that I just stated about Stormi coming over to Melody's house, asking her questions about how she feels about Martell and Sheree. And then in the next not the next episode, but the next scene of the same episode, Destiny is playing a clip of what Melody said to Martell getting upset about it. And then you fast forward to New Year's Eve and Stormi's hanging out with Martell and Sheree. That looks weird. And I'm just saying, using wisdom and intelligence and just saying, you know what, I'm not for the crap. I'm not for the mess. I don't really want to have any parts of it. And then Stormi being on the show, not in the very beginning of this most recent season, but episodes down the line in this most recent season, Stormi appearing as the peacemaker, giving Destiny a Gucci bag because she said she wanted them to be Gucci. She wanted them to be good. She didn't have any issues with her and whatnot. And then having the peace, PEACE party where she wanted all of the women to come together and say something positive and whatever. It makes you look messy, and it makes you look like that wasn't genuine and it was just something you were just doing for the sake of having a scene on the show. I'm just saying what it looks like. I'm not saying what it is. I'm just saying what it looks like. And a lot of times, perception can be reality. Not saying it always is the truth, but because of that, you really have to be intentional about your actions and what you do and who you're with and what you're saying and the actions that you take, because people are going to judge. And if she is going to be in this world of reality TV, you really have to make the proper decisions in your behavior and who you're choosing to surround yourself with and be around. And coming off of the heels of, in the beginning of this most recent season, when she jumped up out of her seat to, in my opinion, defend Melody and, you know, wanting to smoke with Destiny because she felt like Destiny was being disrespectful, it just looks weird now. And it makes people question. So the questions are there for sure. So I really just wanted to talk about that and just say, you know, like, even if Stormi wasn't friends with Melody, why would she hang out with Martell and Sheree of all people? Of all people. So you guys let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. And until the next time, this is Beth, and I'm just being beautifully honest.